the one thing that pissed me off at the end of the Justice League was when they had that race. It's supposed to be a fucking foot race. Why is Superman flying?
I don't know if I've ever heard him say the F word before. So it's no ladies tonight. Tasha and Megs are off, and we are back with the Multiverse podcast with the fellas minus Terrence, who we miss. Gotta get that OT, get that bread. Nobody here is mad at you for that. And it's a no juice box Friday. And if you've been listening, you know no juice box cotton candy tonight. We got Robert back in the house.
I'm good to be back. I missed a lot. You guys had a lot of fun while I was gone.
Yeah,
I was cracking up listening to you guys go on.
We don't have to talk about that ugliness from last week. You know, it was exhausting, and because this guy was up reading AVX like well into the morning for no damn reason.
Mike woke up at 5:00. Think about you. I don't know how to take that.
Yeah, you know, man. It's okay. It's love. So we got Lou, of course, back. Cosmic Lou, how are you, sir?
I'm great, man. Great living the dream, man. Living the absolute dream.
And that's good to hear. We got Jay.
Yeah.
Pop.
What's going on?
All right.
Pop.
And we got Mike. Mike is always love, man. You know,
always. It's always. Hi there.
Glad you.
Hi there, America.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys waited for me. I thank you guys. I'm sorry it took me so long to get here. I really do appreciate you guys waiting.
We was talking about old man stuff, man, and talking about barbers and shampoo girls and stuff like
bread.
that. Yeah.
No, yeah. Yo, bread.
Barbers and French toast.
Yeah, barbers, French toast, shampoo girls. So let's get right into it. Robert was not here last week, but we want to hear from Robert. You know, he's very articulate with things, especially when he doesn't like them. So let's let Robert talk about She-Hulk.
It's so unfortunate too, because I liked She-Hulk up until that last episode, and it reminds me, because I made this statement before, when I watched season 3 of Star Trek Discovery, it was really creative, very good. It was the future of the Federation and blah blah blah. Everything went all the way until the revelation on what caused the big thing to happen, and then it ruined the entire. I will never watch season 3 of Discovery. You can't even look back because you know what happened. Yep. And it's so absurd and so stupid, and this is so un-Star Trek that it ruined. And then the same here. Like, what was the point of She-Hulk at this point?
Yeah,
we just see some mediocre lawyer and her selfishness and sex life, and that's about it. We don't get any kind of resolution. She can't be in any movies. Even the Feige bot said that.
Oh yeah.
So
I posed the question that, okay, what if she was in Endgame and she's like, hey, I don't like this outcome. I'm going to jump through and I'm going to punch Kevin Feige in the balls. I'm going to take the Infinity Gauntlet. Now I have it. Hey, look, the MCU is saved.
Was she supposed to be the best lawyer?
Uh-oh.
Don't just stop, Jay. Let it go. Was she? She wasn't, in my opinion, she was not supposed to be the best lawyer. She was.
They kind of had her on track as a rising star at the very beginning of the show.
Thank
so
you,
yes,
Rob.
she was moving her way up.
Thank you, Rob.
But no, she was not on the pedestal of being the best lawyer for sure. Like you guys said, Matt Murdock wiped the floor with her.
Yes,
but it's her shows.
No. Put that comment right back in your pocket, Pop.
Matt Murdock is the best lawyer at his show.
It's a-
He the only lawyer
Wait,
in the show?
Yeah.
what about
I think he still lost a couple cases.
no, what
Yeah.
what about the
That's why he
Just
fought
'cause you're the
all the
best doesn't
time.
mean you lose,
no
but
no
doesn't
what
mean you can't
what
lose.
about the woman in Jessica Jones, the one that was she was doing errands for, like she was supposed to be a good lawyer, like
Oh yeah. What's her name?
I can't think of her name.
Hellcat. I think was it Hellcat?
No, the
Carrie Ann Moss.
yeah, Trinity.
Oh yes, Trinity.
I forget her character's name, but yeah.
She was supposed to be pretty good. I don't know if they went head to head though.
She had, yeah. I mean, Matt Murdock is basically a street level lawyer. He still wears, the JCPenney suits. He ain't big time. He's good, but he wins.
He could be big time if he wanted to be. He chooses not to be.
But they what did they choose? They chose to be, which one gets the most money? Prosecutors or defendant or defense attorneys?
Defense
Probably
lawyers.
defense
Because
attorney.
I think they
it's
went
defense.
I think did they go the other way? I remember him and Foggy having a conversation in law school about what they wanted to do with their firm, but I don't remember. That was so long ago. I think they did make that choice to kind of fight for the people.
For the little guy.
Yeah.
For the little
For
guy.
the little guys, yeah, the ones who can't afford representation.
Now, I do want to go back to She-Hulk just really quick, because I did see the pictures online afterwards about her breaking the wall and doing the extreme. Now, like, to me, that further cements like the point that I had come to afterwards. So Marvel, they're all about giving us moments at this point. They got to the moment, the fourth wall. I would have had absolutely no problem with that. What she did in that last episode, if she had done it in the previous episodes, it was just so extreme for her to just suddenly do that at the end. And after reading and looking at a couple of scans over the week, she does do this, but she had not done it up until that point. It was so severe. I don't even know if that's the right word. And it just totally it threw me off. It threw me off, and I just did not like the end. If she was doing this from the jump and she continued doing this throughout the whole series, there would be no complaint, because this would have been established. And that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Like I said I'm not watching these shows anymore, and then somebody pointed out who pointed this out to me? I don't know who I was talking to this week. They're like, "Aren't you gonna watch Secret Invasion?" I'm like, "Fuck, you're right." So, all right, well, fuck. So I'll be there, like, for that. Jesus Christ. But I'm sorry, Rob. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it almost felt like everybody knows, everybody has seen Deadpool, and we all know what he does. He has a knowledge of everything outside of the fourth wall, but it was almost like they were using She-Hulk to kind of one-up him. Like, oh well, she can actually interact outside of the fourth wall. And that whole sequence actually reminded me of a side story from Blackest Night, when Superboy Prime was actually exiled on his Earth, and similar to how he used to be able to watch the DC universe when he was in the pocket dimension with the old Superman and Lex. This one, he reads about the DC universe through comic books, and then when he didn't like how things went, he ended up getting a black, and actually I think he got a black and a red ring, and went into DC offices and were asking for like what's happening next, what happened to my girlfriend, because he wants to see what happens. Kind of like it's different, but it's kind of similar to where they go to the heads and they want things changed to their specific. It's not exactly breaking the fourth wall, but it's pretty on the nose.
I liked it. You heard it.
Yeah.
I liked it. It wasn't terrible to me, but then again, I eat tilapia, so.
Now that's different. You just didn't know there. Like, we looking out for you just ain't know. Like I said, I haven't had any negative interaction. Yeah, like if I wouldn't have seen the video, I would still be eating it now and sprinkling Mrs. Dash on it, like I was saying before, getting fancy with it. But after the video, I'm like, I'm out. I'm sorry. Like, it's enough tilapia for me.
Oh shit.
Oh
man.
So like, do y'all want to do final grades for She-Hulk? We've all seen it. We didn't do that last week. Final grades for the season.
Final grades. No percentages, no decimal points, no halves.
Yeah, let's do a report card here. Let's do a report card style today.
ABC.
You get a plus, A minus, or a regular A. You do it plus, minus, or nothing. So that's how it'll work. So Lou, you go first.
Oh man, I want to give it a B. I want to give it a B. Yeah, I give it a B. We'll go with that.
All right. Who's in the cube to the right of you?
You.
Oh, who's to the? Oh. Okay, Rob, you go. What you got?
I'm gonna give it just a straight C. It had a lot going for it, but ultimately none of that led anywhere. So it kind of just leaves you wondering, why did I even watch this? Especially, that last episode, the CG looked better. But why is it that the douchebag who stole her blood was like the best CG character in the entire series? Why does his look so good? Even he looked better than Mark Ruffalo's Hulk.
Oh gosh,
no idea.
You have a point. And you have a point. They spent all that money on him, but not on Scar's hairline.
And I think I figured out why her CG when she's interacting with other people looks just a little bit off to us, because I think her frame rate is a little bit slower than everybody else's. Like, you're looking at her and she's not quite moving as fast as like a person who's walking next to her, because her rendering is slightly slower, and the eye is trying to match the two, but it can't because one of them's artificial.
Are they maybe compensating because it's like a height difference? Like, she's a little tiny,
right? But it's like if you were to take a film reel of a regular person walking, and that's at like 120 frames per second, and then you take hers and put it at like 100, and then put them in the same thing, you would notice the one that's kind of not quite moving with the exact amount of frames per as like the other person. It's I don't know. That's what I kind of thought it was, especially the scenes when she's walking in the
studios
law firm next to her, okay. and walking next to actual people.
Yeah, I noticed that when she was walking down when she was walking through the parking lot and stuff like that, like her feet were gliding. It's like,
so it's funny you mentioned that, because that lot, like I would bet money on it. I think that was the same lot from Roger Rabbit. That they it looked like the same damn lot when she walked from. It's never mind, but I'm not even gonna try to like specify the exact scene and moment. But that looked like the Roger Rabbit, like Acme Studios. I'll have to Google that. That's what I got. Jay, you said A.
All right, me.
A. Go
ahead. You say I give it an
A? Oh,
yeah.
Is this Bizarro?
Yes.
I was trying to help you out. I'm sorry.
Okay. I understand. Let me see. I think I'm gonna give it a D plus.
Ooh, damn.
A D plus. That first episode totally it put me in the wrong frame of mind to watch the rest of the show. So by the time I started warming up to the show, the last episode happened, and it just took me right back to.
Oh, so you were starting to like it at one point.
I was starting to warm up to what's her name? What's the actress's name?
Tatiana Maslany.
Maslany. Mm-hmm. I was starting to warm up to her because she's like, she's super charismatic.
Yes.
She was probably the best part of the show.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, she's cool. Like I can almost deal with this. And then that last episode happens, and I'm just like, nope, fuck you. This show sucks. So. D plus. It only stays in the D range because of the Maslany woman. She gives it a barely passing grade.
So Maslany keeps it in the D range.
Yeah,
in the D range.
That was her whole goal the whole season.
She keeps the D.
Oh shit,
Mike.
I'm gonna go with a C. It's a straight C. Nothing. It wasn't spectacular. It didn't blow me away. It was just a C. The final episode didn't kill the show for me, but it didn't help the show either. So I'm gonna stick with the C. I got one question. I didn't have a chance to look it up. The guy Hulk King, wasn't that one of the twins from Big Daddy with Adam Sandler? Wasn't that one of them little boys growing up? It looked like one of them little.
Was it?
I know he was the guy in the new Baywatch movie that got his dick stuck in a piece of wood or something.
That was him. That's a good movie.
Wow,
that's a good movie.
I never saw that. I think that was one of them twins, though. I think that was one of the
That's a
boys.
terrible Google search.
It just randomly popped up on another video I was watching. I was like, oh, hey, it's that guy.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Wow. Okay. Yeah. He was. Okay. This is The Rock's Baywatch, right?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. I'm going to give it a C too. Also, like it started here and then it leveled off again. Like I did not hate it. I was there for Tatiana, like I was there for her, and then the last episode happened. So I was upset last week. It's still better than Miss Marvel. I said last week Miss Marvel was better. I was upset.
No, it's still better than Miss Marvel.
It's better than Miss Marvel.
Get out of here.
It is, I guess I have no.
You still haven't watched that yet? I haven't even watched it.
Watch
yet.
what?
Miss Marvel.
I ain't messing that.
Yeah, it's not for us.
Took too long to get there.
You can watch the recap on YouTube. Get the same effect. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to go deep into it, but I enjoyed it. That's just
You'll get the gist when the Marvels come out.
Yeah.
I'll be upset if Blue Marvel wasn't in there.
You need to be prepared to be pissed off.
You might as well go ahead and get mad now, then. Cause...
Like, how you gonna have a show called The Marvels and not have one of the Marvels in it?
You know that ain't gonna happen. Don't do that.
Who you-
You're already gonna boycott. Wakanda forever. Don't need to boycott
I'm
another
boycotting
one.
at this point. I'm boycotting all of Hollywood at this point.
Shit.
When they get all the Marvels on screen, you need to have Zachary Levi walking in the background.
Yeah.
Kind of
You see him
dejected.
throws his head out.
like pushing a grocery cart. Do. Just
Hi, ladies.
exactly. Shit. I'll pay for that. What's up, Q? What else you got, man?
So I'm gonna upset Mike here. Upset everybody actually. Harrison Ford, news came out that he was recast for Thunderbolt Ross because that role is just so important and had to be filled less than 6 months after. I'm sorry, what was the gentleman's name who passed away?
William Hurt.
After William Hurt passed away, but they got Indiana Jones in there to fill the role. Like, what do we think about? What do we think about this?
They're grasping. They're Harrison Ford falls within that demographic that they feel like, in my opinion, is going to revitalize the MCU. We all know Harrison Ford as being Indiana Jones, Han Solo, pretty much it. That's what I think of him as, both of those. And putting him in Thunderbolt Ross is like, all right, these people know who he is. They're going to buy the tickets to watch him. The man is seriously aged. And Rob brought up a topic earlier. We were just going cold Mike. How are they going to sustain this character? Is he a great actor? Yes, he is. But do I want him in the MCU? No. Period. I don't. He's too old to sustain the character that we haven't seen yet. And if they put Red Hulk on the screen and kill him off in like one movie, that's just gonna piss everybody off.
Well,
and why not?
They killed off Scar in half a second.
Jesus. This Barber did that.
So it's safe to say that they're going to do some kind of Red Hulk action here.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be a CG character after he's being introduced. Yeah.
And after they established that they're unwilling to recast characters after their actors die, but
Why didn't they just bring back Sam Elliott? I mean, he was Thunderbolt Ross in the Ang Lee Hulk.
That would have made sense.
Just as a wink and a nod. They don't even have to acknowledge that other movie existed. But bring him. He looks a lot more like William Hurt than Harrison Ford does, and I believe he's more of the same age as William was.
Yeah, I'm not happy with it for sustainability. If they want to continue to make this character, I mean, Red Hulk played a semi-important role. Not one of my favorite characters, but still, I mean, for F's sake, Harrison Ford is what, 80 something? 80?
He has to be 80 something. He has to be close to 80.
He's 80.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah, it was just again like the contradicting themselves. Like, we want T'Challa, we don't care about Thunderbolt Ross and whatever, So Lou, we're gonna put Lou on the spot twice tonight, but we're gonna first lead off with a confession from Mr. Johnson. He's never seen the Creed movie. And Creed, Creed 3 trailer dropped.
He's never seen one Creed movie.
Nope. Almost bought the game one time, but because it was on PSVR, but I never bought it. Never watched the movie. Now I'm gonna watch it.
Excellent. You have to see them.
Yeah,
they're definitely
they're modern
they're
classics.
Good, yeah.
Okay.
They hold up to Rocky. Like it's a good,
They're remixes of Rocky. Honestly, like the first one. Did he win that fight in the first one?
He did win. He didn't lose like Rocky did.
Okay, so it was like the first one. The second one, of course, was Rocky 4. It was like a sequel to Rocky 4.
Yeah,
And this one, the third one looks
it's kind of like he's his own man now.
Well, it's like I was getting Rocky 5 vibes when he had Tommy living with him.
Oh, Tommy,
Clubber and Tommy, because like Tommy was living with him, and then he turned on him. They just didn't have the official fight. The police let Rocky fight this guy in the street, and I guess they decided at some point whoever loses the fight is going to jail, and the winner can go.
Yo, wild out in Philly.
Yeah.
Yo, wild out in Philly, man.
So
I thought Florida was wild. Y'all are crazy.
That's Wild West law right there.
Rocky 5 is like the low of the franchise, and I just wanted to like talk about Rocky, the series, and Creed with y'all just for like a little bit. Like, I love those movies. I can, like, if one comes on, I can watch them all straight through. But let's get your favorite Rocky movie, your least favorite Rocky movie, favorite moment. Lou, you've seen the Rocky movies, right?
Yeah, I grew up watching those. My father was and still is a huge fan of Rocky. It was always a great motivator. I think, what was the one where he fought Dragoff?
4.
Was that
4?
4.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably my favorite one because that's the one that's the one that I remember the most, even though I saw all of them. That's the one where I actually started picking up on things. And that was the one. I remember him in the middle of the country, running in the snow, punching. He was in a barn and doing all the, the sit-ups and all the rest of that shit. And then you saw Dragoff in like his state-of-the-art, facility where they were like, I think they cloned half of the SHIELD agents from him or something like that. I don't know. But it was great. I remember that more than anything else. And Rocky 4 was it. I mean, it was a very patriotic time in America. And then James Brown was also in that movie, wasn't he? Living in America. Yeah. Yep. James Brown. He always looked like he was sweating. Even no matter what he did.
He was always sweating.
He was
always sweating.
That boy was always moving.
Shiniest knee.
If you watch the Chad Brosnan movie when he played James Brown, he was sweating the whole movie in that one too.
I guess we can't have any James Brown movies either. No more James Brown movies.
Man, come on. No more Jackie Robinson movies either, right? Sit down, Jay. Pop. Mad as hell. Oh man, Rocky 4. That was me.
At least in the one you don't like, the one you don't have to ever see again.
The one with Tommy Guns in it.
Yeah,
was it Rocky 5?
Yeah, that's a funny one. That's a funny movie.
It has one of the best speeches in movie history in that movie. It doesn't matter how you get knocked down; it's how you get back up. Life is hard, and all the rest of that stuff. The way he was talking to his son when Rocky was talking to his son. One of the best speeches ever.
Oh, and what was that, Balboa? Was that Balboa? Okay, yeah.
Was that Balboa?
Yeah, that was Balboa.
Yeah, that was Balboa.
Yeah, I was going to say that was Balboa.
In the restaurant.
Was that in there?
Oh, yeah, because he was talking to his son. He was talking to his son on the street.
Yeah.
Is that who his son
Milo
was? His son,
Vila, whatever.
Yeah, that was
his son was acting like
Mhm.
was being real mean to Rocky in that one for no reason.
He's being
Okay.
like 50 Cent son.
Yeah, he was. He was.
All right. Then thank you for correcting me. But yes, the Rocky that I like the least is with Tommy Guns in it. That was just a waste. I just thought it was terrible. And I remember watching him as a fighter, and they were trying to and I hate to say it, they kept saying, "Oh, this is the white Mike Tyson."
Yep.
It's like he's built like Mike.
He got knocked out real in his first fight, didn't he?
He got handled,
Yeah.
and they were like, "This is the white Mike Tyson." I was like, "No, it's not. It's a white dude that's built like Mike. That's what it is." And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anything bad about race or anything like that, but you just can't hang that on somebody. I mean, Mike, I can go on about Mike Tyson forever because I watched him fight my whole life, but putting that on him and then putting him in the movies, like instant trash. Set that shit on fire.
Tommy definitely had the look of someone who should be winning, and
Yeah.
like Rob, what you got? Don't say you've never seen Rocky. Okay, good.
I have seen. I think I've seen up to Rocky 4, and I've seen Balboa. My memory isn't as great. I know I really like the Rocky 4. That's the one that if I remember anything about Rocky, it's from that movie. And Balboa, because I remember seeing that it was on Christmas morning in the theater. We went and saw it. I think we were like the only people in there, but yeah, the character, I don't know. He's interesting. I guess maybe because I'm not from where you guys are. You guys live in Philly, kind of what he grew up with and where he grew up, but the fights were always very fun to watch. All of them were. Even now you watch him, you're like, okay, I know this is like WWE stuff right here. This is all camera angles, but the fighting in it is better than you see in a lot of other movies. Like even up to the I have it right here. It's called Warrior. It was basically an MMA with an MMA.
That movie was excellent.
Yeah, was that
that was what's the guy's name?
That was the one where it was the two brothers, right?
Yeah, the two brothers and
what's that guy's name?
What is his name? Tom Hardy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy was jacked. He was ripped in that movie. But they had some pretty good choreography of their fighting and everything in there, but it didn't look too real. I thought it looked a little like a dance routine. It didn't look like a fight like they did in Rocky, where Rocky is just blocking every punch with his face. The guy was a tank.
Yeah. And the good news, like I think the fight choreography changed going into Balboa and into the Creed movies, because those fights in those movies don't look the way they did in the early Rocky ones when he was leading with his face and everyone was connecting with haymakers and uppercuts and they were fighting for like 30 rounds. It was it kind of changed a little bit, but they're still good. Did you see Creed? Any of the Creed movies?
I have not. No, I do need to see those.
My goodness.
Really?
Come on, guys.
Jeez, you guys are missing out.
Come on.
All right, homework.
You find me what streaming service they're on, and I'll watch them.
I think the first one for sure is on Amazon.
All right.
I think it's on. Oh man.
I'll watch Creed.
You gotta watch them. They're good.
Jay,
I'll watch Creed.
Yeah, Creed is good, and they're remixes of the Rocky movies, and that's not a bad thing. I know it sounds bad, but it's his own thing. It's good,
and they live up to the franchise. They're not watered down. They're good.
No, I actually consider them like sequels, not even a different franchise, because Rocky is prominent in the first and the second one, and there's history. So Creed 2 is a direct sequel to Rocky 4. And so like the things, because Drago's in the Creed 2 with his son. So he's in there, and you see so everybody knows what happened to Rocky after Rocky 4. Like he was he was a legendary boxer. He went into Russia and he won, and like that was what happened to him in the public eye, and granted he lost the money or whatever, but you get to see what happened to Ivan when he lost, and it was bad for him too.
All right.
Yeah, so you get to see the other half. You get to see it ain't end well for Ivan after that. You see why he's been mad for like 30 years. Like he's been lurking in the shadows. But Jay, what you got?
I forgot what the question was.
Favorite Rocky movie, least favorite moments.
Favorite. I'm gonna have to go with the rest of you guys. I think it's gonna be Rocky 4, only because that's the one I think we're all in the same age range. So we're all like, Rocky 4 was probably the one where we were just really old enough to appreciate a lot of the themes in the Rocky movies. Yeah, I remember all the Rocky movies. I remember the first one, second one, third one, but the fourth one is probably when Creed dies. You're just like, what?
Yeah.
That's probably the most shocking moment.
Yeah, that stuck with you.
Because Creed was that dude.
Yeah,
Man.
he like two things with the Creed dying. One, like he deserved that ass whipping. Like he was going, he was going Ivan the whole time. And two, Ivan should have been arrested because the ref tried to stop him, and he's like, "No, I'm not done. Like continue."
Because that was supposed to be an exhibition match.
Right.
Yes. All right, Mike, what you got, buddy?
All right. Real quick, that wasn't one of the twins from Big Daddy. That was somebody else. I just wanted to add that real quick from the She-Hulk. But favorite Rocky movie, I'm gonna have to go with Rocky 3. Okay. Simply because Mr. T.
Yeah.
Clubber Lang was the truth.
Clubber Lang was
the truth. I would have loved to have seen a Clubber Lang Apollo fight. I really would have loved to seen that get down, but Clubber talked a lot of trash. He was talking to a woman. He was talking right, yeah. My real man. Clubber was
say woman.
yeah. Clubber was coming in strong. I was like, damn. And I'm a shit talker. And I was like, this dude here. He was talking all kind of shit.
Yeah.
He wrote a check for that ass whooping. So
Clubber Lang was
I gotta go with that.
Oh, that's great.
Clubber Lang wasn't no joke.
Yeah, that's great.
Clubber was no joke.
Yeah.
And as far as the least favorite moment, I gotta go with probably the one Rocky 5 or whatever 4 with 5 with Tommy Gunn. That was but the speech was in Balboa. That's what he was talking to his grown son. He was talking, not the little kid in Rocky 4. We're talking to that guy, but it was Rocky 5. It had to be because I just didn't like. By that time, it was almost a joke. The franchise, it was it was like a cash grab. Almost.
I think a lot of people didn't like how the idea of him being broke, essentially, like that. He kind of bounced back in Balboa. Like you see, he was okay with the restaurant and everything, but it just went all downhill for that one. And then it's funny because with Rocky, his intelligence was what Spike. At one point he couldn't read, and then he could read, and then in this one, like he had. Remember he was blind in one of his eyes in the second one, and then that went away, and then in 5 he had the brain damage, and I don't know if it was like.
Did he have cancer at one point?
No, he didn't. Oh yes, that was in Creed, but let's not talk about that. We don't. Okay. It's not. It's not like a big spoiler, but he was sick. Yeah. But
damn it, Jay.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Let me get one point. Another best moment. It was in Creed. I mean, this ain't really a spoiler. It's not about the story. There was one scene in Creed that I thought was so awesome, and it was in Creed 2. I saw both of Creeds. It was when Brigitte showed up.
Who?
You hadn't seen Brigitte look like Brigitte. You hadn't seen her look like Brigitte in years.
Oh, Brigitte Nielsen?
You saw her with Flavor Flav. You saw her do this and that on the Surreal Life. You hadn't seen Brigitte look like Brigitte Nielsen in years.
They pulled her in.
But when they showed Brigitte, you were like, "That's goddamn Brigitte Nielsen." that's Brigitte. She showed up, Ain't had but like 3 seconds, but damn it, she stole them 3 seconds. She was Brigitte Nielsen in them 3 seconds.
Man,
that was my favorite part. Not my favorite part. That was a great part of that movie for me.
Yeah,
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question, Q.
Yeah.
How geographically accurate is Rocky and all the movies that like Rocky and then Creed also? How geographically accurate is it to Philadelphia? Because I know you guys have a history of movies, especially with the Rocky franchise. Because I know you made a joke about somebody, some movies in Philly.
Sixth Sense chopped up Philadelphia. Yeah, that's a good question.
Boy Meets
Boy Meets World does too. That's kind of accurate. The neighborhood he was in.
He was running through South. He was running through South Philly, and then he ran up the state. Like
now, see, I took that as he ran all that legit. Like they didn't. It wasn't.
Because that's a long.
It is a long way that he was running. That's a good question, Lou.
Because you don't really see him running up like Broad Street.
No, he was in what's the district with when all
the fish market?
That would be
is that the Italian
fish market, and that's off of Washington Ave.
Yeah, you gotta go way down Broad Street for that.
Yeah, it's down Broad Street down that way.
Like he could do it if he was training. Like I could see like a boxer like possibly running that, but somebody's picking me up and driving me home, right? Like it's not like I'm running all the way from where I was to the art museum,
and all the way back.
All the way back. Hell no! Like somebody come and get me. Like one way trip.
I ran too far. Please help.
I ran a long way.
That's a
it's a long way because he ran down where like the Colonial
right there, Mike. Right there,
by the Liberty Bell,
right there.
Down there when like he was in one of those parks.
On the
he was all over the place. He was like in north,
Rocky
south, central.
He ran to the Gallery Mall.
Yeah, he was everywhere. The Gallery Mall. That it's funny because when you look at that those movies and speaking of locale and everything, like there's some ghosts in those pictures because some of those buildings are just not there anymore, and those neighborhoods do not look like that anymore. Mm-hmm. I like the fourth one too. I'm with y'all. That was the one that was always on TV when the parents was like, oh, it's only a little bit of cursing on them. They can watch this movie. Like Rocky's one of those movies. And that, the simple idea of like avenging your friend, like every time he's about to, even before that, when he first cuts Ivan, when he hits him with the punch at the end of one of those rounds, it's like, yes, like, it's like a surprise every time I watch it. Like, yeah, like, go in and, it was one of his better fights. And again, the low, of course, was full. It was 5.
We could do it. I could do it. You could do it. Everybody could
Rocky
do it.
goes into Russia, in the 80s, beats down their champion, and then addresses the public, and the president or whoever's in charge is over there. Like, you know what? This box is right. It's world peace.
We're going to end this.
Yeah, Rocky. You got to pay attention to Rocky because he'll drop some jewels on you. You'd be like, you know what? Like, he's absolutely right. You're like,
oh,
I'm going to apply this in life and everything. I don't know who was writing the stuff for him, these gems. I don't know if it was Stallone, but, like, he would drop something.
Well, Stallone's supposed to be a genius.
Yeah, I've heard that. And if he's writing it, like, like all that's bulletin board, like put on your refrigerator before you walk out the door, you look at it.
It's a morning affirmation stuff
like,
there.
Let's do it.
It's a bunch of bumper stickers coming out of his mouth.
And you talk about the speech to his son, that's one of them. Like he would say like simple stuff like, because Paulie was a racist, and when he was out there and he was out there in California, and Paulie's like, I don't want to be out here, like, these colored fighters or whatever. He's like, I don't like them. Shit. I don't like them. We got to get out of here. Rocky looks at him and said, well, maybe they don't like you, Paul. And he moved on. And it was just like, and Paul had to think about that. Stop being an asshole, Paul. Like it would just be like little simple stuff that he would say. And you're like, he's right.
Y'all gonna have me watching all the Rocky movies and Creeds.
Great.
Watch Creed first.
Watch Creed first.
I watch Creed for sure.
Creed is
okay.
Yeah, I can't watch Rocky. Was it 4. I can't watch Apollo die.
That is
I'm
hard.
sorry. I can't go through
That's a hard hitting one.
That's hard.
Yeah, when he hit the ground all slow motion.
Yeah, like
you watch the towel fall.
Right. I don't want to see
he
Apollo
busted
die
Apollo up so bad, and Apollo was just
he whooped his
trying to
ass.
sell the tickets. You know what I mean? Like when they were at the press conference, and he was talking shit to him, and right before he left, he told Rocky it was good, right? He was like, yeah, you talked a lot, but yeah, it was good. He was like, good. It was all about the show with him, and but when he came down with the glitter, the hat, dancing to James Brown, I was like, he is dying tonight. Like it was just like no question. Like I'm going to kill this dude in here tonight.
It's like
for exhibition. He can't.
Yeah, he did, and it was like I could have felt him out. Like I could have just like crippled him instead of killed him. But then those movies are so funny because Apollo's in the ring dying, and Ivan's got the press conference going in the ring, talking about if he dies, and he's like, he's right there.
Apollo shaking on the ground.
He's right next to him. Oh man,
Mike was accurate when he said he bounced off the mat. That is traumatic.
Yeah, he did,
man.
and he did spasm. That was some ugly shit.
Yeah, I don't need to see that.
So look, I'm gonna ask you like
now. Just imagine what they're gonna do with Black Panther.
Yeah.
See, I knew there was a transition there.
They're gonna have a whole funeral for a half hour. A chat with.
I don't even want to know how he dies. It's gonna be like watching a horror movie. Like who's gonna? All right, we'll go to that. We'll get to that. But I'm gonna ask Mike a question. So, Optimus Prime death is like it's rated a 10.
That's number 1.
It's like 10 on the emotions. Where is Creed dying? Because you sound upset right now.
I would put Creed above Apollo, above Optimus.
What?
So you,
because Optimus wasn't my cartoon death that really hit me. The one that really hit me was the Robotech. Big
I was
Brother
about to
1.
say, yeah.
That was the one that really, when he was sitting there with his girl playing the guitar and fell on the ground dead because he got shot up. I was like, oh no, that hurt.
Oh no!
Optimus went out like a champ, man. He just lost the fight, but you weren't expecting Roy at all. He was good. He was playing the guitar and just fell out.
And wasn't this girl pregnant too?
I don't know if she was pregnant, but she was, she was there with him, just chilling and just. Oh man, see. You weren't ready for that. You weren't ready for that
Optimus,
at all.
I was not ready for Optimus to die. When he went gray, I was like,
yeah,
what?
I cried with Optimus.
We was little kids.
I cried with Optimus. Apollo did hurt though.
Yeah.
It did,
Yeah,
but with Optimus,
hurt.
you still had
Apollo
with Optimus, you still had Hot Rod to blame. 35 years later,
that's true. You had somebody to blame.
Yeah. Well, they. Well, we're not going to talk about Creed no more, but they're going to talk about who was to blame for, Apollo dying, and the second one. So Rob and can't see your plans on watch Creed. They good.
It's right there. I wrote it down and circled it. Right there.
Good music too. Very good music in there.
Well,
too.
it's good to hear that at least they tried to film on location there, unlike Reno 911. That was definitely filmed in California because we don't have palm trees here.
I would have had no idea if you wouldn't have said anything.
The little interstitials with all downtown, that's all us. But every time you see somebody acting, they're not even close. There's no mountains. They have all the wrong trees. Everything's wrong.
That's funny. I love that show too. That show is hilarious.
Reno is funny. The moment the one that sticks out, they were chasing somebody across the state line and they couldn't pursue him because he just got over and he was like teasing them and they were like,
didn't he stop?
Yeah,
like the Dukes of Hazzard type of shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we're only 20 minutes away from California.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
it is just too hot out there for me. Whew.
Man, it was like 80 degrees and it's supposed to snow tomorrow.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, it takes a turn like that here.
Mother Nature out there freebasing cocaine and doing your weather is what she's doing.
That's Northeast too, though.
Don't you guys gotta like spray paint your grass and all that? Or you just have dirt lawns?
I think they have.
That's Vegas.
That's Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were actually paying people to xeriscape the city would pay them to have them xeriscape their lawns.
Like
to save on water.
They have the pebbles, right? They got the
the DG.
Yeah. Golly.
All right. So before we get to Lou and Jay on the spot, a little DC news. James Gunn secret project, and we're just going to mention Ezra going to jail. Like, I don't know if we really want to. I could possibly be going to jail for 26 years, and we don't need to go into that. Do y'all want to go into that?
No.
I mean, that's maximum sentence. And no celebrity has ever gotten maximum sentence. So
is he celebrity level?
Just what I'm saying.
I mean,
he's getting the celebrity treatment though. He is. He should be.
WB is protecting him like he owns their golden goose, man.
Yes. They must got a lot of faith in this Flash movie because he is getting the celebrity treatment.
Yeah, he knows where the bodies are buried. That's why he's getting his treatment. I think that's how it is.
He knows who went to Weinstein Island.
It might be like
he's got the Weinstein tapes.
What Mike is saying, like they really need that movie to come through. Like we need to put this movie out, and we'll see what happens.
You notice the charges weren't brought up until after Black Adam dropped.
Yeah, the ball's rolling now.
Like, yeah, we could cut bait on this guy real quick.
Yeah, recast on the way. Maybe Harrison Ford will be the Flash.
I have an idea about how that Flash movie is going to go, but I need to see Black Adam first before I really know.
Okay.
Oh, dig it.
Okay.
Dig it.
James Gunn DC project, secret DC project. We had some hypothesis, some guess. Anyone? Like somebody mentioned, was it you, Lou?
I think I said Dead Man, the ex acrobat that got shot. Mm-hmm. If you've watched any of the DC animated, the last one I remember seeing him in was one of the Constantine
Justice League
joints.
Dark, right?
Yeah, that one. And he was sitting in the back seat of the Batmobile, and Batman was driving a ghost around, which I thought was kind of cool. But I think, I mean, it fits James Gunn's MO to do something like that, and I think it'd be really cool because the character's pretty dope. I mean, Gunn has a good way of turning like C-listers and D-listers into something big. Guardians and then Suicide Squad. If he does it with, he can do this with Dead Man. I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool. That's just mine. I'm gonna go with Dead Man. I'm gonna go with that one.
Who was that? What was the character's name in Suicide Squad? The rat dude.
Weasel.
Yeah.
Weasel. Yeah.
What if he does like a Weasel movie?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, that's his brother, so we could see it. That's James Gunn's brother.
Yeah. The one who inherited the mohawk from.
Man.
From Yondu.
Yeah.
Him.
Do we think he's going to do like something off the Suicide Squad? Like, is that like his corner, or like
that might be his little
corner?
Niche. Yeah. As long as
there's so many obscure characters that you can pull from in the DC lore. I mean, you can pull up like Ambush Bug, or you can pull up Batmite. You know, there's so many just random things. What
was your suggestion? You mentioned something on Cole.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of like a buddy cop with Booster Gold and the Ted Kord Blue Beetle. That would be because they could do a. Those two characters wouldn't be as profane as Peacemaker, but they could still have that kind of humor, the college lover humor. Booster is like basically a con artist from the future who faked his way into having superpowers, and then you got Ted Kord, a failing millionaire inventor, I think he's always trying to fight off the lawyers from Wayne Tech buying him out.
I like that.
So what if I change the question because James did good in space, so to speak, in Marvel? What if they sent him into space in DC? Would your answer? Your answer would change. What would you think he would aim for? Like if they're like, you got a room for all cosmic DC landscape, and we need you to go in there and pick something and come out. We can't use Green Lantern because they're already on something. But
no, I already got it.
Let's hear it.
Lobo.
Mm-hmm.
He would rock the shit out of Lobo.
That's really good.
And I think that would be amazing. That's really my gosh. Let me write that down. Yeah, hopefully I'm right. I'd love to be right with that. I think he'd rock the shit out of Lobo.
That's
the main man.
I think that's money right there.
Yeah, the main man from comics and also from the DC animated TV shows, not the Lobo that they put out, the remix Lobo from like 2 years ago.
Prince Lobo.
Oh my gosh, that was pure trash.
He might be able to do an Adam Strange too. Because he's kind of one of those characters that's just kind of out there. He shows up at some random space things every once in a while for no reason. I think like the last time I remember seeing him was during, was it Infinite Crisis with the Rand Thanagar War? The Hawk people versus the...
he was in...
the other space people.
He was in the Justice League United team for a minute with Martian Manhunter, and he was there for a second. But I haven't seen him since.
MM would be a good one too.
Martian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mike, would you?
Okay. For James Gunn, I really don't have anybody, honestly. I was thinking about who I could go with. I don't really see anybody that jumps out at me. Somebody. Nah, I couldn't think of anything. I don't have any.
Put James Gunn at the helm of a Guy Gardner solo film.
This is about his secret project.
Yeah,
sort of right.
Yeah, we're just speculating.
Hell, it could be Plastic Man. Who knows?
Ooh,
Yeah, he would do that. He would definitely do that.
Yeah, I could see that.
He would.
Plastic Man would
That's
be
the only
dope.
thing that kind of popped in my mind is that.
That's a good one too.
Plastic Man's a super pervert.
Yeah, he is.
Robert read me in on Plastic Man, and I was like, really? This dude? To get the same dude that changed himself into a car every Saturday morning.
He would definitely get me too. Now.
He's basically a god in DC.
Yeah, that's the word. He's potentially the one of the most powerful characters. Yeah. All right, that was a good. Wait, Jay, did you say something? Did you give us one?
I didn't say anything, but I think everybody's like pretty much said the best things.
I like Luz. I'm rooting for that one, and I do like a Plastic Man.
Just, who else? The Guy Gardner. That would be hilarious.
I picked up 2 Guy Gardner comics 2 weeks ago at the comic shop.
Really?
Yeah, it was like random. They were $1 a piece. I was like, I'll take those.
What about what's the teenagers from the future?
Legion?
The super group, the Legion. But I don't know if that would be. I don't know if that's funny enough for him or goofy enough.
Those characters. There are a couple of names on there, but they are not household names. Like,
yeah, and their personalities change every single time that they're written.
Yeah, you could do whatever you want with it. I think the only one that people would be up in arms about would be Karate Kid, and Brainiac, and what's the black guy, the Lightning? I can't think of his name.
Oh yeah, what's that dude's name?
See, we can't remember. This is why he'd be perfect for that. Like, we don't know. Exactly. We can't name them all.
He could do whatever he wants with these characters.
Yeah, and there's a shitload of them. So,
yeah, Legion is one of those ones where the roster is always rotating because they're so far in the future that just anything that changes in the, they'll have their run and it'll be over. Then 2 years later they'll come back with something completely different because the landscape of the modern areas is different.
Then they were missing after Rebirth. I don't know if Manhattan did something to them.
There was Manhattan, yeah.
But
they came back after Rebirth. Though.
They eventually came back.
They took Superboy after Superboy aged up. Then they came and got
them. And the JSA, I think, came back eventually. Okay.
Yeah. I remember that part. The JSA. Part.
Yeah, they were both part of Doomsday Clock and Manhattan's little experiment.
Okay. All right. It's time.
Oh man.
For Lou and Jay on the spot. So they saw Black Adam, and we're going to talk about Black Adam, but we're not going to spoil Black Adam. What we're going to do now, I got a list of the Phase 4 Marvel movies, and I'm going to bring it to Lou and Jay. They're going to tell me which one you would rather see. We're not spoiling Black Adam. We just getting impressions here. All right?
Okay.
All right, let's roll the wheel here. Who's the oldest, Lou or Jay?
Oh, Jay.
All right.
I'm
You're
46.
going first.
I'm 46.
All right.
Enter the Price is Right wheel sound.
Right.
All right. So, Black Adam,
$1.
Black Widow, or Black Adam?
Black Adam.
Is it close?
Black Adam.
Is it close?
It's to me personally, yeah, because I like Widow. I like that movie.
I like the character. I like the MCU character Black Widow. I hate what they did with Taskmaster. That just
Okay.
Yeah, that was a terrible point, but I like her character, and I like the spy type of. I like the fisticuffs that she had going on. I like the action scenes and all the rest of that. She's a true fighter. But it's a close. I mean, I'm not talking about within seconds close. I'm talking, it's close, but
Close. I'm going to say Black Adam too, and it's close for me. And I like Black Widow. But like y'all said, I didn't care for the Taskmaster remix there. All right, let's get the easy stuff out of the way. Black Adam or Eternals?
Black Adam.
hands down,
All right.
hands down.
All right, so it's going to get a little difficult here because we're going against nostalgia. Spider-Man No Way Home or Black Adam?
Ooh, wow,
that was close.
Oh, fighting the nostalgia.
Ooh.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go Spider-Man No Way Home. I think it was written. If you were to compare the apples and oranges of the two movies, I think that Spider-Man No Way Home was handled better than Black Adam. But I'm gonna stick with that. Spider-Man No Way Home because of everything they put into it. Black Adam is pretty much a jump off spot, and No Way Home was a landing pad.
So, okay. All right, I'm gonna come back to your answer. Jay, what you got?
I think I might give Spider-Man a slight edge.
Is it slight for you too, Lou?
Yeah. It's maybe if it was 10 ticks, it's probably 2 ticks behind.
Now,
not too far.
To compare this musically, now it might be even after all because both of them had features, other heroes next to the namesakes. Did the characters that are involved, the number of characters that are involved in Spider-Man, did that cause you to tip it towards that direction? Was it seeing Toby and the other Spider-Mans? Like,
I think it might be, for me, it might be the nostalgia.
Yeah, the nostalgia edges it out for me. Like I said, Black Adam's a jump off point, and you're pretty much getting new people, new characters. With Spider-Man, you had, 15, 20 years of Spider-Man on the screen.
Exactly.
And so that's what gave it to me. And it was just like, you had the good, the bad, and the ugly. Take it however you want to put it.
And without any spoilers, there's a couple things with Black Adam as far as pacing that I think brings Spider-Man just a notch above it.
I could see that. Yeah.
I can't answer this one right now because it's close. I think I had problems with Spider-Man's story, but there were some good spots in there. Am I allowed to do tie? Can I do a tie? I'm gonna do it. If I give you an option to tie, would you guys select
the
that?
NFL can do it. You can do it.
I was close to a tie.
You don't want no tie? All right. We're going to overtime. I'll come back to that one. We'll come back. I'll come back. All right. So now that the easy ones are gone, I'm gonna save the hard one for the last one. Doctor Strange or Black Adam?
Which one?
Oh, Multiverse.
Multiverse.
I'm gonna go Black Adam.
I'm gonna go Adam on that one too, because there were some parts about Strange that just didn't set right with me, and yeah,
I'm going that way too. All right, it's going to get harder. That's what she said. I'm saying that for one of y'all decided to. We're going to get the rest of this garbage out. I missed this one. Thor, Love and Thunder, or Black Adam?
Black Adam.
Oh,
Black Adam.
Yeah, Black Adam, hands down. Period. Love and Blunder.
Now, is it close or is it gaps? Like,
It's
miles
huge.
so
away.
what?
Yeah,
With no spoilers,
it's
of
Usain
course.
Bolt versus anybody else. Yeah,
That's Usain Bolt versus me.
yeah.
So, what made the big difference? Was it story? Was it story or story?
Now,
It
the
was-
caveat with me is I still haven't seen Love and Thunder.
Okay. Well,
And my feelings on Love and Thunder could not be stronger, and I haven't seen it.
okay. So it doesn't matter.
It
It
was
doesn't matter.
with me. It was complete. It was complete story.
Okay.
Direction. I don't like. I had the same conversation a few days ago. Taika Waititi helped bury Thor in obscurity into frat boy, into the eternal frat boy, and he did it. 2 movies in a row, he did it, and that's the part that kills me. Thor, you've said it. The panel said it. Thor is one of the most badass characters ever to hit print, and Waititi turned him to an idiot, and that pisses me off. You know, so that was it. I mean, the direction of the whole movie and then the way the story was laid out, it's dumb. So
Yeah, you guys were talking last week about the Civil War. I think it was Civil War, right? The righteous beatdown of Iron Man that he gave him, and you just read that, and you're reminded that this is Thor. This is his actual character. This is who he is, and this is him trying to be calm.
Yeah.
He's not throwing jokes.
Right.
He's not riding a goat around.
yeah,
He's beating the shit out of Tony because he did him dirty.
he's giving
Even
everybody
in the
all the
comics,
smoke.
His goats are badass in the comic, like Tooth Gnasher and Tooth.
But they play their
role.
role. They don't do
Yeah.
shit. They don't do shit. He eats them whenever he gets hungry, and then they regenerate. So that's their role. They don't do that shit in the books. No, sorry. Go ahead, man.
That's all right. It's all right. So now it's the heavyweight contender of Phase 4. I think this was the best movie. Shang-Chi or
Ooh.
Black Adam.
Yeah, Shang-Chi. Period. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but that's just me. I think Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi.
It was good.
Black Adam was bouncing off the mat like like Apollo did
So
in this fight.
It's a big gap for you?
For me personally, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might still. I might get into Black Adam just because they were calling it Shang-Chi.
Jeebus.
That Shang-Chi bullshit is annoying. To me.
I am
It's not really Shang-Chi. Like Shang-Chi's the master of Kung Fu, not Goku light. Now, I like the movie. I love
Goku
the Shang-Chi movie. So I'm not hating on it, but he's definitely not Shang-Chi.
So who was his dad? Krillin?
He had to be. It had Android 18 or something, because
Are you just saying that they took maybe a little too many liberties with his character in that movie?
Because I'm expecting a kung fu movie, not like
It was a kung fu movie with great special effects. That's it.
It was Dragon Ball
Until the green screen battle at the end, yeah.
I thought that battle was okay.
I thought the battle was great.
None of it was whack. It wasn't
Okay.
whack. It just wasn't Shang-Chi. I'm expecting like Enter the Dragon, not like, you know what I mean? Like whatever. What would be the equivalent of like a mystical kung fu movie, The Matrix or something? Like, I don't know. Like
I can't think of anything.
Like a Crouching Tiger or something.
Yeah, it's not. It's even
Big
beyond
Trouble,
Crouching
Little
Tiger.
China.
That's a good movie.
That's a good movie too.
I want to say gut reaction is saying Shang-Chi for me, and it's close. It's close, and
Yeah. That Shang-Chi actually ranks ahead of Spider-Man No Way Home.
yeah, it's definitely.
I can see that.
Go ahead, Mike.
Really?
Chime in.
No, I can't do that.
Let's hear it.
I'll put Shang-Chi over the first hour of Spider-Man No Way Home. That first hour of No Way Home was rough. But as soon as I got 2 extra Spider-Man, I was in hog heaven. I can't put Shang-Chi over that. I'm sorry, I can't.
Where did No Way Home turn for you? Exactly.
When it
1 hour, 1
Way
minute.
Home got interesting for me. I can't give you the exact second, but when you got
Uh,
Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man guy, I can't think of his name.
Garfield. Andrew Garfield.
Garfield. When Garfield showed up, that's when I got excited. And then when Toby walked in, I was sold. It was A+ for me. Now the first half, I can't remember anything about it. I can't remember nothing about the first half of No Way Home. But from that point on, man, it was perfect.
So the movie started at that moment for you.
For me
you woke
right
up.
now. Yeah, if I
Okay.
yeah,
It
if I
wasn't.
have to watch it now. I'm fast forwarding to that part.
It wasn't when Dafoe was ragdolling Tom Holland through that freaking apartment complex.
Oh my god!
He beat the boots off his ass.
It was all right, but like I say, if I didn't, the whole time I was just looking like, I need some more Spider-Man. I need another Spider-Man. Come on. We were speculating, but we weren't sure what was going to happen. Yeah.
So
I can't put Shang-Chi over that. Not at all.
You're making a good. You're
make a valid point.
Yeah.
I would put Spider-Man over Shang-Chi too, but not like by a large margin.
Why would you put it over Shang-Chi?
It's the I think it's what you guys are saying, that it's a bit too much derivative of Black Panther. A lot of it is very similar, and Black Panther did it so well. And this is like this is the Asian version of Black Panther. A lot of it very similar, mystical realms, and a child out of royalty, trying to hide or all that stuff. But I'm trying to keep nostalgia out of it, because I know that's a huge factor with the Spider-Man film. But it's still, I just watched that the other day, and when all the Spider-Mans are talking about their Aunt May's and Uncle Ben moments, I mean, I can't help but tear up right then. And that Marvel movie is like one of the only ones that really hits me like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not normally a very emotional person like that.
No, you're not.
It gets me. It gets me like that.
So you're absolutely right with the emotional aspect of Spider-Man. I think that even goes back to the Tobey and Garfield movies. They were like, Spider-Man's life is always like, separating, but the separation between Peter and Spider-Man is so thin, and it causes people to die because of it.
Yeah.
But for me, like, I'm going to say Shang-Chi over Spider-Man. There's so many issues I have with Spider-Man. With the story pisses me off like every time I watch it. And like I may be being a stickler, but like, the shit has got to make sense. Like, 1 + 1 does not equal 3. All right. So like, Doctor Strange, the guy is watching over everything. Teenager shows up at his door. I need you to wipe off the memories of everybody, because my identity's been exposed. Guess what? Tough luck, man. Like, this is part. This is like the risk of being a hero. Like, I'm not doing that. And then Spider-Man beat him in the Dark Realm or whatever. Oh my god, that's so annoying that happened to Doctor Strange.
Oh, in the mirror realm, yeah.
Doctor Strange fought tooth and nail against Thanos was on Titan, and like, that apparently that's his apex, because like, he's never come close to that level of the display of power. Like, I was bothered by that, and that all that's in the first hour that Mike is talking about. As far as Marvel, I keep saying this, they get you to these moments, and they're perfect. The moments are great, but they kind of cheat to get there. And like, It's like, hey, we delivered it. And it's like, oh, okay. But you almost feel like you got cheated, or you're like, hey, well, how did I end up here type moments. And that's how I felt about Spider-Man. And I've only watched that movie. I tried to watch it twice. I fell asleep the second time. Like, Shang-Chi, I think that's the perfect balance with Marvel and Disney. I'm saying Disney because I need someone to blame. Someone like, the humor and the action was there. The story was passable. I don't have a lot of connection to this character, so I couldn't really be as I'm gonna say offended as Jay was with some of the things. But like, straight through, I can watch that movie. I've watched that movie like 3 or 4 times, and like, don't really have an issue with it. But yeah, those were definitely, I think, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, and Black Widow, despite the Taskmaster thing, were the top 3 movies. And it'll probably change when Wakanda Forever drops. So, like, I guess to sum it up, Lou and Jay, Black Adam, pretty good movie.
Yeah, damn good movie.
It's superior to Marvel Phase 4.
Most of it. Most of it.
I mean,
yeah.
You add
as a
everything
whole.
out,
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
whole.
Agreed. I just
on level where
know,
it surpasses.
I think it's a great jump off point. I think this is what they need.
Step in the right
now.
direction.
They need
positive buzz.
I think. Yeah.
It's not. They're not trying to copy Marvel. Like there was a couple points where they tried to make little jokes, but it wasn't like as heavy-handed as Marvel.
Yeah.
I was telling Quincy and Rob earlier during a cold mic. I was saying that my wife and I went to go see it last night, and she made a great point. She said Marvel has got to the point where they're making movies that happen to have heroes in it, and this movie is a comic book put on screen.
Yeah,
and I was like, and I was flabbergasted eating a hamburger. I was like,
that's nail on the head. That's nail on the head.
That's pretty accurate.
And I was talking to my brother today, and he just really just feels like they're just really comfortable right now, and Marvel, that is, and he the way he feels right now, and he's not even like a DC guy, but he's like, he feels when he's watching these, Marvel is saying, you're going to put out whatever I put out anyway. Why do I need to? That's how he felt. Now, I meant to look up the definition of alternative because I wanted to read that out loud, because that's what DC is. All right. Like, so Marvel fans going to a DC movie, you cannot go there expecting to see a Marvel movie, right? It's two different publishers. It's two different companies. And honestly,
those are the people that IGN sent to go watch the movie. Were the people expecting?
And they have two different philosophies on how they treat the characters.
It's very, very different philosophies. In DC, because their characters are so larger than life, like a lot of their stuff is a challenge to put on screen. Like a lot of their stuff is, because their world isn't the same as our world or Marvel. They have cities in DC that don't exist anywhere else. They have different situations, politics, just different situations. But this is
and a Felicity Smoke.
Anyway,
you already got your Felicity post for the week. Stop that.
The only thing that makes me feel better is that in these infinite worlds in DC, somewhere she's dead. Okay, all right, somewhere she died.
I'm sorry,
but yeah, it's got to be an alternative. Like, I said this last week. Like, I'm not going to like be the guy who's going to, if you post something about Disney Plus, I'm not going to show up on the post and tell you it sucks. Hey, that's for you, right?
That's my
other people do that. And like, I'm going to take my own advice. If you don't like something, then don't watch it.
Eat
but
it.
At the same time, someone reminded me, I do want to watch Secret Invasion, and I do want to see how they ruin that. But you want if you're a Marvel fan, you want DC to do well. If you're a DC fan, you want to, you want Marvel to do well, continue to do well, to put pressure to put out a product. Now, like, Dwayne has, he's found a platform. He could be on to something, because, he could be the savior or whatever. Like, Rock is successful. Like, that's bottom line in this Hollywood world and his life. The fact that he went over some people's head to give the fans what they want, that's all I'm going to say about that. Like, that's gutsy. That's great. And like, if you're a DC fan,
that's what was needed.
Yeah, if you're a DC fan, you're happy about that. That there's a voice in the room right now that has an idea. You don't want DC movies to be like Marvel, and you don't want them to all. You don't want all the same thing. You want alternative. You want alternative.
Yeah.
Like, you had
I agree.
The juice.
Well, yeah, because
the juice boxes and cotton candy, like, is on the left. And if you want, like, some comic accurate, some tense moments, some, comic book movies, then go to the right. All right, like, and there'll be stuff in the middle, and but let the people enjoy what they want. If you want to enjoy DC movies, let the DC people, let the comic book fans enjoy the DC movies, and like at the same time, if you want the, I'm not going to even want to say cotton candy again because I'm being condescending, but if you want the Marvel, the lighthearted, funny stuff, like enjoy the ride, right? Like have at it.
Yeah. Competition breeds innovation.
Exactly.
It's good to have DC finally back in the game because you can tell on some of those movies that Marvel was just shoveling shit and just kept doing it because we were eating it up. You know?
Like tilapia.
There you go. We're back on tilapia.
Get salmon instead.
Perfect.
All things secular.
So, Lou, you actually,
the circle is complete.
It is.
You actually reminded
noodles.
me of. I was about to read right over this. So can we talk about movie critics and the fan disconnect when talking about these movies?
Yes.
So the latest example or piece of evidence is Black Adam. Black Adam right now, like I think Thursday it was at like 44% Rotten Tomato. They told you it was a steaming pile of shit, and then the fans went out and it's at 90. It's at 90 right now. I think 88, 90. Let's just say 90. That's like 50%. Let's just say 50% difference. Like, why do you guys? And we're gonna start with Mike because like he looks. We gotta get some energy. Yeah,
gotta wake him up.
Yeah, I'm passing the ball. Get some shots off there, buddy. Mike
making fun of Pop all the time. We gotta wake Unc up over there.
Why do you think there's such a? Why do you think the critics can't get this right? And they don't just do this with DC movies, even though it appears they do it with Marvel projects too. Some they love more than others, but they kill those movies too. Why do you think they're struggling and having a challenge like rating these movies? And Mike, let's talk
DC movies in general, or just
movies,
all
period.
Comics?
Because that's
I get what you're saying. I think right now, in general, people just want to hate, even critics. I think it's popular right now to get attention, you know, and I think that's a lot of what's going on. I think people had their mind made up they were going to hate this movie, critics or whoever, even before they saw this movie. You know, this is going to be terrible, and even before they.
Why do you think that though? Because but I'm gonna ask you that, and then I'm gonna ask you a follow up question, and I want to see what you say. But
I think because people like right now in general, I don't know much about critics, but just people just want to hate something, and I think everybody so far maybe it's just clumping it all together. The Marvel, DC comics, I think maybe they could be a burnout. People getting tired of superhero stuff. There could be. It could be backlash. Because it was so popular for so long, and some people could just be tired of it. Unlike people like us who've been waiting. I've been waiting for this my life. I'm not tired of it. I don't think we need any a reboot or anything. I think people just, I don't know. They just want to be different and just kind of want to just hate things.
Do you think they're sending the right people to these things? Like, do you think these people that are reviewing? Well, you know what? Let's save that for everyone after we get the answers. Jay.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. It's getting late.
I was reading something about muscle growth. So let's see. I think people we're like kind of like in our own separate camps now. Like, you have the Marvel camp, you have the DC camp, and the two don't seem like they want to combine or cross sections or talk to each other. So you got all the people who are just completely on the Marvel side, just hating on stuff before they see it, before they get an inkling on what it's about. They're just like, this movie sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. It's like, how do you know? You haven't seen it yet. I don't know. But I think that's just the train we're on right now. I don't think DC, for those people, I don't think DC can make a movie that they're going to like.
Yeah.
I think that's just where we're at.
Rob, I was about to say Robert again. Rob.
It's all good. I answered everything. I would say I personally think that it has become too easy for people to become film critics.
Mm.
I think half of these people are just internet bloggers. They did not go to school to learn how to become a film critic. They didn't take art history. They don't know what the only thing that they're doing is comparing it to either what they like or what is popular.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Marvel movies right now.
Exactly. Those are the ones that make money. Those are the ones that specifically create movies for the most butts in seats. It doesn't matter about the story. They just want to draw and get that money, and that's the end goal. They're not making art, which is what movies are supposed to be. I'm not saying that DC's making art. I'm just saying that this is what the critics are thinking. They think that Marvel is art. The ones who I mean, I don't know who these critics are and who's getting a rotten one or who's getting not, but my assumption would be that these are people who opened up a blog because they watched a documentary on Siskel and Ebert. Now they think that they can be critics.
Lou,
yeah.
Lou, what you think, man?
Oh man, they're not sending the right people. I agree with Rob. Rob made a great point. They go in there thinking they're comparing this to whatever they've seen before. They probably got a YouTube education off of it to become a critic, and they get on a critics list. You know, they make a list of people that they send to movies to rate these things. They create this list. There's tons of YouTubers that do it. They get free tickets and, you know, the semi-red carpet treatment, all the rest of this shit. They're Joes just like you and I, except for the fact that they went and pursued shit deeper than we did. They go in there skewed. I agree with Mike's point that people just want to hate. They write their reviews, they make these tweets, and their tweets get retweeted, or their tweets get responses, or anything. They make them Twitter famous for 15, 20 minutes. You know, maybe a day or two. People are out there talking about them. Publicity is publicity, whether it's good or bad. Your name's out there. Willie Lump Lump tweeted out, Black Adam sucks, you know, gigantic donkey balls. And all of a sudden it gets retweeted and shared, screenshot, and all the rest of this shit. He's famous for a week. And now all of a sudden he's picked up 100,000 followers. That's what these people do. They go in there trying to compare apples to oranges. And Rob said it. Nobody's making art. DC's not making art movies. Marvel's not making art movies. But if you want to compare the two, you're going in there setting yourself up for failure or for disappointment. So these people that are going in there, I respect them. They're human beings. I respect their opinions. But whenever you completely shat on something, and if you're not a comic fan or if you're not a person that's familiar with the genre and the media, then you're for lack of better terms, you're fucking up. You know, you're giving the masses your opinion on something where you have no basis to base your opinion on. You have no ground to stand on. And yes, DC's fighting their way back out. $7 production company, the Rock production company, is doing their best to put this up on a higher pedestal and make it a better product than we've had in a while from DC. But they're doing it wrong. These critics, they went in there, they were putting all this stuff out, what was it, Wednesday, when they first got to release, then the embargo was lifted, talking jazz about it. Man, then the fans showed up, and the same fans, these fans have keyboards too. They have Twitter too. They have Rotten Tomato scores. They have all the same things these critics do. They're shutting them up, which I appreciate, because they're like us. The people that showed up to the movies are like us. Quincy, Jay, and myself have seen the movie. Mike's going to go see it tomorrow. Sunday, and Rob's going to see it on Sunday also. We're probably going to have roughly the same opinion, and so they're sitting on the wrong fucking people. Why? Probably because that's what they want to do, and they want to blow the internet up, and they're winning at that. They're blowing the internet up, and I'm sorry, but all these people don't have the critics and the people that are writing all this stuff do not have the same following as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And The Rock is winning this competition hands down. So he's been bragging about this shit for years. And recently, the past couple of weeks has been a media storm. So he's winning that. So I don't care what the fuck they say. He made more money on a Thursday than he has in any movie that he's made. Thursday's money was more money than he ever made on a premiere in all the movies he's ever made, which speaks a lot.
It's a good opportunity. And
yeah,
2 follow-up things. Like I posted something where he kind of pointed out the disconnect between Dwayne The Rock between critics and the people, and like the movies are for the fans. I think everyone here is right, and as comic book guys, which all of you are, because I think if we got hired at Rotten Tomatoes or whatever, we would ultimately give them some credibility when rating movies. Like, what do you look for a comic book movie? What makes it good for you? So when you're looking at this, what's the first, like, what boxes are you looking to get checked off when you're like, this is a great comic book movie? So like Lou, like we'll go back the way we came. Lou, Rob, Jay, then Mike. We gotta get the mic quick.
Yeah.
Homecoming wore me out.
Yes, looks like it. And that chili sitting on you.
Oh yeah.
Because this damn monster ain't doing nothing.
Sitting on top of the chili.
What makes Oh man, I think, of course, first and foremost, accuracy. How they handle the character. Do I feel like the character on the screen is the same character from the pages? And that's basically it. It doesn't matter what the story is, as long as you can convince me that the character you putting on the screen jibes with the paper. You know what I mean? Or even the small screen, or even whatever it is, wherever the character showed up from, make it accurate. Don't give me bullshit.
What's the last inaccurate superhero you saw on screen? Where you was like, this is like where you were like, this is fucking wrong.
As much as I like the character,
like you threw the chair, the Hulk. Oh, you're
Hulk.
Mad with the Hulk right now.
I'm mad with the way the transition from Ed Norton's Hulk to what's his name?
Showing up at the Penguin. So
Mark Ruffalo.
So he fell off a cliff after fighting the Abomination in Harlem about 10 years ago. So from there to him showing up at a barbecue with a t-shirt on
with and his son with the bad haircut. Yes, that's bullshit. The Hulk.
It sounds worse.
The Hulk was an absolute.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, you finished.
You're fine. The Hulk was an absolute badass. He destroyed Harlem in a great fight with Abomination. He's one of the most badass characters. And right behind him is Thor. Those two, the way that they've treated those guys is terrible. The Hulk is the angrier he gets, the worse he gets. And the way that they've handled him. The only time that I really liked the Hulk 100%, the last time I liked him in the MCU was when the Avengers, when he was destroying Manhattan and blowing and just slamming into shit. That was the best Hulk. After that, it was a nosedive. But yeah, that's the character that I hate right now.
So what I was going to say is it sounds horrible when you say it out loud like that. The first time I saw the Hulk, he was going toe to toe with the Abomination, and impressive feats of strength. And last time, imagine like going to a coma after watching that movie and then waking up and then watching She-Hulk. You're like who was that? Like that's
who was
the
this?
Hulk, man.
Yeah.
Like what?
No, that's not the Hulk. That's not my
back
Hulk.
into a coma.
Exactly, Doc. Put it in. I'm done. I can't mess with
It's
y'all.
that Simpsons meme. And good night, flatline.
Exactly.
Rob, let's audible. We're going to Mike. We got to get some blood circulating. Go, Mike.
All right. Repeat the question for me one more time.
What was the question? Oh, what makes a comic book movie good for you? Yeah,
For me,
like what checks off all your boxes? Or you're like, this
Um,
is a goddamn masterpiece.
it doesn't. It just has to make sense. Really, it just has to be good. It doesn't have to be comic accurate to an extent. I don't need it to be the exact same story. Sometimes you can improve on the story. Sometimes they can make necessary changes to the story. I can deal with it as long as it makes sense. It has to make sense and it has to translate well. It has to tell a good story. Action. I need action. I need some good fight scenes, some good special effects. Depends. A little humor in there, not much, just a little, just to interject some, just to sometimes lighten the mood because those things, comic movies can get too deep and depressing sometimes. Um, but mainly just checks all my boxes. Just a good story, a good solid story with just enough action, uh, and the changes they make need to make sense. That's my main thing. Like in Chang, whatever Chang Si, uh,
That
whatever,
movie, the Kung Fu
the
movie.
Ten Rings, that movie, yeah,
You were almost there.
yeah, whatever you call it, the rings.
There you go.
I like didn't. Man never had perfect rings the way they were.
Yeah.
Now you give them 10 bracelets and they do different, something totally different. You could just name them something different. And I wanted to see the rings, the actual Mandarin rings. Now you can't do that. That didn't make sense.
Thank you, Iron Man 3.
And that guy keeps popping up randomly.
Yeah, I'm done. He can die too. Yeah.
Yeah, he just pops up in church. What the hell is he here for?
He sold you your chili tonight.
Right. He just randomly pops up.
So, quick follow-up question: what was the last movie that checked off all your boxes?
The only movie that I can watch from any company right now, front to back, over and over, is Black Panther.
Dig it.
I can. That's like the only one that I can watch from front to back and be interested in. Some of them I can just put on for like noise, just to have it on. But if I'm actually going to watch it, I can watch Black Panther from front to back.
Is there anything specifically where you took out your stamp and you're like, approved, this is official? Like, what in that movie sold it to Mike forever?
Okay. Africa, Wakanda, the whole continent of Wakanda, or country of Wakanda, the drums, when they and it hadn't even do with anything to action. How beautiful the colors were when they were doing the challenge scene, when they were just sitting there and everybody was on the wall and the colors were just so beautiful and the different tribes and that just Wakanda itself.
Now, I will agree with you. Black folk, we were very happy around that time. We were, everybody was our brother. Like, I have no numbers to support this. I feel like crime went down. Like, everybody was helping each other, right? Like, everybody felt good.
You like
hugging
each
coming
other
up in family events. Like, did you see it? Like, everybody was feeling good. So, I get that. Like, you're absolutely right. Like, everybody was feeling good.
Yeah. It was a little white kid in the theater when we saw it. He had his little Black Panther suit on, and I was like, "This little white kid dressed up as Black Panther. That's amazing!" I was there tearing up, and the movie ain't even started yet.
Right.
We sitting outside in a damn line,
and now they're gonna give us a funeral.
Yeah. So
shut up, Jay.
So Black Panther went beyond critic scores, but went to cultural impact, outside.
Yes,
definitely cultural impact.
Yes.
It's definitely cultural impact with Black Panther. It definitely, and it did a lot for me. It really did. And as far as part 2 guys, I think part 2 is going to be good. And my team recast, hell yeah. But I do understand the need of not having to give everybody a break for this first movie. I do get it, but they need to hurry make it fast. They're gonna have to recast them soon.
All right. Okay, Jay. What checks off the boxes for you? What makes the comic book movie perfect or certified fresh? I should say for you.
I mean, let's see.
Stinky cheese.
Real,
stinky cheese.
Stinky cheese. We gotta have that stinky cheese. Well, what do we all like comic book movies or comic books for in general? Like, what separates them from just reading a
For
book?
me, good.
The superpowers. Like, I need a good representation of these characters and their powers and their abilities. Right? If you're not giving me that, then what's the point? I might as well just watch like Raising Arizona or something.
Okay, so what was the last character?
The diaper scene.
What's the last character on film that did that for you?
What's the last one that did
You're
that?
like, this is perfect.
I might want to be close to saying Black Adam.
Yeah.
Because he put it down in this movie.
Yes.
And that's one thing I'll give DC that Marvel hasn't done yet. They've done it a couple times, but not to the level that DC does it. Is that they really represent their character's power level. Like when you're watching the Justice League and you're watching Suit, like they feel real powerful.
So
Marvel doesn't really do that.
You are correct. So like we'll point to Superman versus Zod. They leveled the city. The fight with Doomsday kind of come. Those are some of the things that pop up. And to Lou's point, they nerfed the Hulk. I think I read it somewhere. They didn't know how to write a challenge for him. He's been nerfed into the ground. Thor's been nerfed to a point. I can't think of any other characters that kind of jump out.
It's Thor.
Thor pisses me off more than Hulk, though. I can still deal with Hulk because personality issues, but Thor is damn disrespectful.
They disrespect.
He's almost unforgivable right now.
It's just like, come on, Marv, what are you doing?
So power levels, and is there anything else that
I need the action? You got with the powers come the action. You gotta have that.
Great powers come great action.
Have action. And I need to see something I haven't seen before. Like if you keep showing me the same thing over and over,
are you talking?
I lose interest in a lot of things if they just keep doing.
Are you talking about scenes or a formula or?
Formula, scenes, just action. Like if you keep showing me the same action sequences over and over again, you got to do something creative. Like you can't show me
cut Sharon Carter in half is what you got to do.
So Black Adam's like fresh in your head. So what power set or movie did it before Black Adam?
What movie did it before?
It's like Jay, go in the other room. Like you're in there for 12 hours. Take one movie in there with you.
Not that movie, Jay.
I can't say Black Panther.
That wouldn't take 12 hours.
Let's Justice League.
Wait, which
League
one?
Snyder Cut.
It would take 12 hours to watch that.
It takes 12 hours, but
12 hours you can only watch that movie about 3 times. So
this is it.
I can't see that movie again.
I watched that movie like 6 times.
Okay.
Man,
Yep. Me too.
You must be suffering from low T, man. You get tired too fast.
No, I mean
I've never been a fan of what's his name, Snyder in general. None of his movies have really blew me away.
Snyder, the way he can frame a scene and frame action, it's second to none.
Watchmen is near perfect.
Watchmen is a perfect movie.
If you go through all of his movies, he has issues with pacing and storytelling. But if you just clip out all the action
visuals,
scenes, they're all the best comic book action scenes.
And he's taking them from the frames in the comics.
You can see
300 is page for page from the comic.
Yes.
He's a master.
And maybe that's why Watchmen didn't do it for me, because the Watchmen comic didn't do it for me.
Watchmen comic was dry.
That comic
taste,
man. Yeah.
And the movie was pretty much the same thing to me, except for Rorschach in jail saying, I'm not in here with you. You are not with me. I'm with y'all. Whatever he said. That was the highlight of the whole damn movie for me.
But even if you take like a Zack Snyder, what was the movie that was just a super letdown?
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch.
Justice League.
Stop it.
If you just take out the ad, if you take out all the insane asylum stuff and just focus on the
Sucker
action,
Punch has great visuals
ridiculous.
and action scenes.
It's insane. Like if you take them 3 giant samurai that the chick was fighting, crazy.
Did she have a gun? Was that the girl with a gun for a leg?
No, that was
that was
one that was Grindhouse.
That's Grindhouse. Yeah.
Sucker Punch was not. Sucker Punch was not a
good
good movie for the story, but the
story
visuals.
it's a movie that you put on your resume and just see look at the camera angles and the visuals that I can do.
Right.
Don't worry about the story. Just look at all the cool
like,
stuff.
I walked out of that movie mad. That's how like the story drives me crazy. Like I'm sorry, Robert, it's on you, buddy. Like what makes a comic book movie good? What checks off the boxes for you?
Mine are the same as Lou's and Jay's. You need to, as long as they the director or whoever is doing it understands the character, like they're the character of the character, you know, what drives them, understands what, you know, what they are. You can change their origin stories, you know, you can put them in a different setting, but as long as you understand the character and what they do, like Superman, he's the Boy Scout. That's something that's never going to change. He's always going to be the person who wants to help, who's always going to go out of his way to save other people, even to the detriment of himself. You can have him raised anywhere else, and he always has that core to him. And like Jay said, understanding the powers is also very important, because the one thing that pissed me off at the end of the Justice League was when they had that race. It's supposed to be a fucking foot race. Why is Superman flying?
I don't know if I've ever heard him say the F word before.
Maybe not with as much emphasis.
Lou, please make that
It's going.
But yeah, you look at Batman versus Superman, that had some issues, but then from that movie on to the Justice League, when Joss Whedon did it, Batman is the comic relief now. You know, Batman he does not understand the characters, and that kind of inconsistency, especially if you're having sequels, is what ruins comic book movies for me. They need to understand, you know, that these people have like 50 years of history and literature that you can read up on to understand their characters. You should not be messing it up like that.
Nope. There's YouTube. You can watch YouTube and figure out the history of a character.
That's the first thing that will throw me off. And if they're doing things with powers that they don't actually have, like who was it? Was it Kitty Pryde? Somehow can go to transport your mind into the past now?
Damn.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a power that she has all of a sudden for plot contrivance reasons.
Yeah,
Okay.
That was
good call.
Yeah, that kind of threw me out of that one as well. You know,
crazy music.
It just takes that much. And then a smaller thing is they just need to have a compelling villain. That seems to be a common problem both sides of the movies, of having somebody that really motivates them to actually, you know, do their heroic stuff, or actually have to cut loose and really have a nice action-filled fight scene or something.
Yeah. All right, so
there's maybe like a handful on either side that have had good villains.
All right, so you know this is coming. What movie did that for you? What was the last movie that checked off the boxes for you?
I mean, I said Watchmen earlier because they did really well with all of that, and I even like the ending better in the movie than it was in the comic.
No.
I've mentioned that before a few times.
So no movie since then has done that? What year did that come out? That was 2009.
Yeah, you know, the run of the Snyder, if you get rid of the Justice League, they were very consistent with all their characters. Even the first Wonder Woman movie, the Aquaman movie, they were all very consistent with their characters. We're not going to count Wonder Woman 84 right now. Yeah, that one didn't work out. It would probably have to be the Snyder Cut, I would say. They utilized all their characters and their powers properly. When Superman finally came out and then just went to town on Steppenwolf, it showed you, you know, this is why they're afraid to come to Earth.
Point.
Yeah.
Good point. Like for me, it's always the source material, how it's translated. Mike is right, where some characters you have absolutely no issue with them taking some liberties, right? Because some origins need to be updated, because some of these origins were written in the 60s, and certain sciences or certain wars were happening at the time, and things had to be updated. And for me, it's translation from book to screen, because everything from the book cannot go to the screen. Like, it's just an impossibility with certain things. But powers are definitely part of it. You know, we talked about Snyder. The Flash scene to me is one of the best. Crazy Ezra. That was the Speed Force, right? Like we had a couple seasons of the WB. Grant's Flash, who's had some feats with the Speed Force, but that I can watch that over and over again. That scene from the Justice League.
Yeah,
It
that was an
was a
awesome
great
scene.
scene. It was a great scene, and that's the Speed Force. But to me, I think I forgot who said it. I think Rob. He said it. They understand the character. Like, I see the characters and I see ideologies with certain characters. Batman, for me, like, the jokes with prep time. Like, I don't like those jokes, but Bruce he studies. In life, you want to be prepared. You want to be prepared for anything. Especially we have some fathers here. You want to be prepared for whatever to take care of your family. Um, Sometimes you got to make the hard choices. A la Batman.
Batman is the ultimate doomsday prepper.
Right. You want to be able to plan certain things out. You can't plan everything, but study. You want to succeed. Green Lanterns, any one of those. Like, I didn't start reading Green Lantern until like 2008, but like willpower. Their power. It's like thousands of lanterns, and they have the same tool, but it's really based on the willpower of how far they can go, depending on who can do what. And that's real life stuff applied. Stuff from comics that you can apply in real life. There are a couple of characters where I just see ideas, but for me, source material, translation, and of course, story. Like, if none of that is working, especially the story, like, I can't. It's just not going to work. And for me, I read comics to see good over evil. And in Philadelphia, and the city, you see city level crime stuff, and that's why street level heroes always appeal more to me than a surfer or a Superman. Like, somebody is in the streets, like, actually taking care of problems that could affect me in real life. Like, those guys resolve those issues, like that those stories appeal to me. And but for me, story, again, it really is what all you guys are saying. Like, all those have to do that. you know
But for you personally, it's the ability to make the character relatable.
Relatable to what the source material has shown from the character. So yes, yeah, because if I'm going in and I have like an idea, or some kind of familiarity with the character, I'm expecting something close to what I saw in the book. Liberties can be taken if it makes sense. Again, somebody said that. Who said it? As long as it makes sense. Mike, did you say it?
That's Mike.
Yeah. If it makes sense,
Mhm.
I had no problem with certain liberties if it makes sense. But certain characters have been around so long, they have different, not variations, but they have different, what's the word? I can't even think of it now. Yes,
Incarnations.
you can draw, like, Batman's one. You can say Tony to a degree.
To a degree.
Superman's kind of been like the same, but there are characters out there who have changed over the years and iterations. Like, if one of those shows up, like, okay, they're pulling from this run, or they're pulling from this run. Like I've seen this before. Like, that's cool. But that's what does it to me and for me. And right now, the thing that really turns me off right now is just oversaturation of humor. Like, I didn't come here for this.
Yes.
Like, I don't read any comic books that openly try to make me laugh. You know, it's like I'll see somebody say like a smart ass comment. I'm all about that. I'm all about smart ass comments. I say them all day myself. But like, if you're trying to like, you know, like, oh, this will be funny if we stick this in here in the middle of the fight. This will be clever.
This would be great if we make him stop 2 aircraft with his knees,
right?
In a split.
You know, other stuff is just like the complaints I had, and Dr. Fate did it. He pulled a Tony Stark, I'm gonna say, because Tony taking off his helmet in the middle of the fight with Thanos with bullets and lasers falling around, and he takes off his helmet, is talking to Strange like, "Hey man, is this it?" It's like, put your goddamn helmet back on, man. It's like lasers flying all over the place. Like, I know it's you. Okay, like, you don't have to do that. But like, you know, that's the thing right now. If anybody has a mask on or a helmet, they're taking it off, and it's like, okay, like, I get it. You know, I don't know if all that's I don't know if that's negotiated or whatever. I need like 30 minutes of FaceTime, an hour or whatever. But you know, that bothers me. But it doesn't make me hate anything. But stories got to make sense, and overinflated stories like. We all see these. Like, we can spot these like from a mile away. It's like we didn't need this. I don't know the last movie. I'm not going to count Black Adam because I thought that was good. I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to go back to Snyder cut with that one. Like, I was looking forward to that movie. I love that movie, so that was the last movie that kind of did it for me. What happened? Oh man, eyes rolling up in the back of his head.
I was just looking at Mike.
I'm telling you,
you are done, bro.
That Wendy's chili did it.
He keeps popping up like, oh, did I fall asleep?
Did they see me?
His lip is all over his microphone.
Mike, wake up, go, amen.
We had 2 hours now. Like, I think,
man.
I think this was good. We were concerned about filling this out. We did. This was pretty good.
I think we did a good one. Heck yeah.
Shoot, we were able to hang in there without the ladies.
Yeah, that
was rough.
Man, they were missed.
Too many X chromosomes in the house.
Exactly. Anything you want to throw out there in the universe before we get out of here, guys?
Go see Smile.
Really?
That's a great horror movie. Yeah, it's very unsettling. I'll just say that. The new Hellraiser is okay. You kind of watch that for like crazy gore and stuff like that, and it's basically the same thing all over the place. The characters are very well designed, the Cenobites. But if they were, really mutilated flesh, they would be, it would be shiny. But they look like they're made of plastic. The design is great, but it looks obvious makeup work.
How do we know?
Yeah, I was talking like a true serial killer right now.
Right.
Oh, is my camera facing? Hold on.
Don't you think Cinnabon?
I left the freezer open. Sorry.
With Hellraiser.
I'm sorry.
Should do a crossover with Hellraiser. Cinnabites. That seems like
marketing.
Yeah.
Really scare all those soccer moms with my Cinnabons.
Red frosting.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You just get hungry. It's like pastries be on your mind.
You'll randomly bite into one, and there'll be a hook in there, and it'll be stuck in your gum.
I need to be a pastry marketeer or something.
It's gonna have a chain.
Just the Thor cakes, the cinnamon.
Make some chili that keep people awake.
I was surprised that that episode where Hulk and Daredevil smashed, there wasn't an idea of having like 2 green cupcakes with a red one in the middle, and that'll be the next thing going on with the Thor cakes.
Write it down, listeners. We're trademarking it right now. Jay's on the internet trademarking.
I'm on it.
Oh my gosh, that was a good episode though. It's great. We filled it out great. We did, like Jay said, we survived without
We survived.
without the feet. Well, we as a collective, Mike, you passed out a few times.
Stumbled across the you crossed the finish line. We dragged him.
Yeah.
Win is a win, man.
You know what woke him up? Somebody reached for the remote.
I was watching it. Yeah.
No, they handed it to me before they went upstairs. I got it sitting right here. They left my ass. They said, shit.
That's great.
Nah.
Oh,
Hey, did we? I'm sure we didn't because I wasn't waiting the whole time. But did we talk about House of Dragons and the infamous foot scene?
no. We're gonna book that for next week because I honestly hadn't watched it yet, and this coming week is the finale, so I think we're gonna put a bow on the whole thing. So that's what we're gonna do.
Sean will be with us next week. Yeah. So full spoiler for Black Adam next week.
Oh yeah,
I'll be ready.
Perfect. That'd be great. Well, man, I enjoyed my time with you guys. It's hilarious, man. Rob, welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the
I
friends.
missed you
like
guys.
2 years.
I missed you guys.
He
I'm
was
glad to be
gone
back.
forever.
Yeah,
Mike's
man. All those people need that mail and shit like
Robert
that.
said he had to come back and amend and fix the human mutant relations because he can't.
Come back as a mediator.
You gotta be a bridge in between.
Come back mediator with a stick.
Arbitrate this thing right now.
That post like it happened again. I wasn't there.
It's like, oh no. Usually it blows up real big when you got to post about it.
He was Peter Parker last week. I should have been there. I could have done something.
I just got to that part in the show too today. I just got to that part. I was like, look at these two damn fools. Look at I could barely listen to these damn fools.
That's great.
Which is funny is because you started off saying you didn't want to get into it, and then you started talking, and it just snowballed so fast.
You heard SpongeBob in the background 13 minutes later.
Yeah.
No, man. Amazing. Quincy, thank you for driving this episode, man. I greatly appreciate it. I loved it all. I love the setup, man.
Yeah, thank you.
It was great. And like he said, you're very welcome. Like he said, next week we're gonna have Sean Oliphant and we're gonna have a full Black Adam review because the whole Kit and Caboodle crew will have seen it.
Maybe twice.
Tasha,
maybe twice by then.
Maybe twice.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, man. Blow up the group chat. I can't wait. So, Tasha, we miss you. Megan, get to feeling better. T, I'm going to say this in the vaguest of terms. Congratulations, my man. I'm not going to put it out there for the world.
Yeah.
But, congratulations, my man. We're proud of you. We're happy for you. So,
Yeah, get that overtime.
that's it. Make that money, baby. So, man. So I guess until next week, please, people, remember to be kind to all people that you meet because you have no idea what they're going through. It's Multiverse Limited Podcast crew. Jay, Pat, Unc Mike Adams.
We the same age.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Cut my beard off so I could.
There you go. Don't do that. Kids will hate you.
I know.
That one guy, Rob, welcome back
Probably
from the dark
like
side.
Theo from the Hustlers. He I can see him look like Theo from the Cosby
Give
Show.
him a yellow shirt with crooked pockets.
Call that
Get him
man
going.
old Theo.
Oh man, like I was saying, that one guy, Rob, QP the source, this is Cosmic Blue. Until next week, we'll holler at y'all. We're out.
Read some
Peace.
comics, please.